Hey everyone, this is James, and this is my 4-hour chart of Litecoin. This is LTC USD. This is on the Bitfinex exchange. So if you do want to follow along with the numbers, that's exactly where they're coming from. Basically, on my prior Litecoin videos, I talked about how it was essentially following Bitcoin. I did think that we were going to move upward, but we had to consolidate for a while. That consolidation is right here, as you can see. It's actually from all the way back in here. You can kind of see that we've been range bound within here, which is fine because when you have a large run like this, right from the bottom, so the bottom in Litecoin was around, like, let's just call it 106 flat, and we ran all the way up to 252 roughly. Hang on, I can pull up the exact figure for everybody. It is, yeah, 252 and change, but anyways, that change doesn't matter. The thing is, as I explained in my Bitcoin video, if you've seen that, is that as price runs, right, this is all price action. Everything I do is based on energy. Everything I do is based on frequency. As price runs, it has to consolidate to build, to recapture the energy that it spent. And as it recaptures that energy, the only way it can do that is if it travels horizontally or if it consolidates to the downside. From there, when you get into these consolidation zones that I call energy coils, the breakout is only 50-50 probability. So just because you had a long run, right? If you just look at this with no lines on the chart, just because you have this long run does not necessarily mean you're going to have a continuation and a break up to the top. And if you've been trading for a long time, then you know that's the truth. So, but anyways, we have two opposing line sets here. And this is a 4-hour chart of Litecoin. So that means every single bar you see on your screen right now represents 4 hours. Litecoin has been in a downtrend, just like Bitcoin has, except Bitcoin's broken out of that, and Litecoin is struggling to do so. However, I do believe when Litecoin does, it's going to be a very significant move. Now, what I see visually on the chart is I see a cut right through price action. From that price action, I do see a resistance. That resistance may lead to price struggling and getting very tight in this range, which is great because as you can see, let me remove these lines real quick and that way you can visually see this. Let me trace it with my marker. You see this little triangle right here? This is the consolidation and the tightening of price action. When price starts to tighten, big moves occur, and you can see it right here. Okay, my marker is going crazy, but right here, and you can see it right here as price consolidates. When it gets very, very tight, look at this tight little coil right here. We have a breakout to the top and an immediate reversal, okay? So that's another thing you have to watch for when you're watching price action is you have to look for those false breakouts. Of course, you can deal with those through having a successful strategy. And everybody who invests, not to diverge from Litecoin, but you need to have stop losses and you need to have a strategy if the market turns against you, okay? Because there's a high likelihood the market is going to turn against you, regardless of how good you are in the market. Nobody does 100%, right? Most of the top traders brag about having anywhere from 30 to 50%. But the thing is, when you have those successful trades, they make up for the small losses that you incurred along the way. So anyways, I don't want to diverge from there, but I just think that's basic knowledge that a lot of people don't understand unless you're from the professional industry. So, basically from here, price structure is going to tighten very well. Now, the positive sign here, this is why I'm bullish on Litecoin, and not only because I'm bullish on Bitcoin, but because you can see how price has changed dramatically. Price has now used this blue line slope, right? This frequency line right here as a support system, right? As price uses this support system, it is building energy off of that, and I think that this energy that is building is going to be positive energy and not negative energy. It's going to get very tight, but as it breaks out, this is what I'm anticipating. Now, this video is not investment advice, okay? You have to have your own strategy, and I do not give out buy and sell areas or anything like that, okay? So, but anyways, what I can tell you is based on this slope, there is a high probability that you can see how we're traveling. We're traveling upward now. We're no longer traveling downward. Yes, price has been rejected, and yes, price is pulled back almost along the same exact frequency, but overall, this is the upward movement. And that upward movement is a positive indication of where price is going to potentially head to. So there's a higher probability that price is going upward than it is downward. But like I said, this is not investment advice, and if this is something you want to play, from your own, personal perspective, based on your own, research, then you have to have a plan in place to deal with that, okay? What I think is going to happen is when Litecoin breaks out and it breaks through this barrier right here, right? There's a lot of energy in this range, okay? Let me show you, let me zoom out so that way you can understand how much energy is accumulated in here. You can see from all the way back here, you can see the volatility, you can see the it's not so volatile over here. Basically, you can see the smoothing, you can see the tightening, the restriction right here compared to what price used to be. When there's a lot of pressure right in this zone. So I do suspect on the Bitfinex chart, on Coinbase it's already broken out, but on Bitfinex, when it reaches this zone, there's going to more than likely be a rejection and then a burst through. That burst through could easily lead price into the 250s and all the way up to where I think that price is ultimately going to end up is probably in the high 280 to 290 range on the Bitfinex exchange, okay? Every exchange is a little bit different, and they change every single day, depending on exactly what's happening. So the disparity is there, and you must understand that. You cannot follow these numbers on a different exchange because they change dramatically and they change quickly too. So, but anyways, after we break through that zone, through this wall right here, this negative wall, right? All right, so if we take this as a negative, we've built up all this positive energy right here. Okay, months worth of positive energy that I believe is going to burst through this negative wall and bring Litecoin to a new high over this high right here of roughly the 252. As we do that, Bitcoin's going to be making its big move to the upside as well too. So that's it for today. I know I talked about a few other things outside of Litecoin, but that's the overall market. This is a 4-hour time frame, so the daily really doesn't change that much more, but I just like to use a 4-hour because I can visually see things a lot better, and I do everything visually. Like I said, everything's done by frequencies, everything's done by slopes, my charts get much more crazier than this sometimes. It just depends on exactly what's happening, but when I present, I have to leave it as simple as possible, and I try to keep the terminology as simple as possible so everybody at any level can understand and learn from, because that's the purpose of these videos, is education. It's not for investing, it's just to help people understand price action. And a lot of people get hung up on all these other indicators, volume, news, etc. I did not watch the news, okay? Even when I was a professional trader, I never even watched it. Yeah, it was sometimes on the TV, but I had it on mute all day long. So everybody in the office watched CNBC and and various other news sources, but I always left it on mute. I never listened to it, never even look at it. Everything that price can tell you is already here on the chart. There's nothing else, all right? You can have some surprises, like you can have terrorist attacks and so forth. Those are obviously things you're not going to account for, okay? The market can dramatically change over severe things like that, but and majority of the time, price is already telling you what's going to happen. It doesn't matter if the CEO is popping on the news. It doesn't matter, what's happening. If you understand price structure and you have your analysis, right, set that you feel comfortable with, then you stick with that and you focus on that only. You don't let all these other things get into your mind, because it's going to drive you nuts, right? If there's one thing I can tell you, is that you just shut it all off, keep it as simple as you possibly can, or you're going to destroy yourself and you're going to go crazy. and you see that, and that's what this whiplashing is this craziness of the market. I mean, when Bitcoin made its gigantic run, not to go off on a tangent, but when it made its gigantic run and the media hyped it up, what do you think people did? People that do not understand price action, people that do not understand investing, went out, took out loans, sold their homes, took second mortgages, took credit cards, and they purchased as much as they possibly could, and they went nuts. And there was an article that was over 20% of the market is done on leverage, meaning that it was done through a loan, like a credit card, second mortgage, something like that. That to me is insane. There are a lot of people that have taken a beating since that time, and those people, they may never see their money come back. They may never. There's no guarantee. Although I think that Litecoin's headed higher, there's no guarantee we're ever reaching back here, okay? At all. We could maybe in the long haul, maybe years down the road or so forth. It depends on what happens. That's why I try to do these videos as often as I possibly can. But people that are stuck at 19, 20,000 in Bitcoin, I don't know. I don't know if they're ever, I don't know how long it's going to be for them to see their money come back, because I can tell you that as Bitcoin does rise and as Litecoin does rise, there will be a deeper correction than this little correction that you see here, right? This is a minor correction. This is nothing compared to what's going to happen as price elongates this way. And what has to happen is all that energy that's expended has to be recaptured, okay? And this is a lot of energy. We could be talking about months of energy. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. But as price does that, it has to recapture that energy, and it recaptures that through corrections, through consolidations, okay? And when we do hit those zones, that correction, that consolidation is going to be deep, and it's going to hurt a lot of people. And a lot of the people that got suckered into here, okay, and especially on leverage, are going to literally vomit as they watch price falling down again, especially if they do not understand the overall market and price structure. And that's why I do these videos, just to help everyday ordinary people. And it's just everybody didn't come out of school and become immediately a stockbroker and then an investment advisor like I did. Not a lot of people understand just the basic nature, and they go on these websites and there's 1,000 different indicators, and everybody's looking at 14,000 different charts, and everybody has the news on, and everybody's seeing the headlines flow through in there, and they're just literally going nuts. It's like a loony bin out there, and that's why you see this crazy erratic nature in these markets, especially in these baby markets like the cryptocurrency market. But anyways, I don't want to go on a tangent. I could talk about this all day, but I just trying to help people as much as I can. So if you enjoy the video, please like, subscribe, share the video, comment down below. Let me know what you think. If you want me to stop talking so much, let me know too, because I know I can go off on a tangent. But I just honestly, the intentions of these videos are to help people, especially for the educational side. This is not investment advice, once again. But if you do like the videos, please like, subscribe, follow, share, comment for feedback, and that's pretty much it for tonight. And I hope that you have a great day or great night, depending on where you are in the world. And I will do another video. My Litecoin video, I'm probably gonna do maybe not Monday. It'll probably be Tuesday. It just depends on what the price what happens in price as time progresses. But like I said, Bitcoin is the one pushing these cryptos around, and Bitcoin's the leader. Litecoin is kind of almost right in line sometimes too. So, and I know Ripple took off today as well, but the alt like Litecoin, Ethereum, and so forth, those are going to be more than likely every other day depending on price action. If I miss something, let me know and I will do a video. But anyways, I'm getting near 14 minutes. I'm very sorry for taking this much time from you, if you're still listening, but I really do appreciate it, and I hope that you're able to learn something from the video.